Hello, this is Heather Reeves, and I'm just jumping on here. I wanted to share with you some yoga for low back pain. So I work with a lot of clients, massage therapy clients, yoga clients, and a common complaint is low back pain. Also, too, as we age, we have different ailments. So I would like to address low back pain this morning. And what we're going to possibly use, and you don't need props, but they are kind of handy. So a yoga block, a yoga strap, and it is nice to have a blanket. So I like these cotton blankets that hold their shape. And they're just a nice little bit of support. The other thing that I have here is a bolster, and this bolster is a pretty thick bolster. It's a little bit thicker than the regular sort of cylinder sized half moon. This is a different brand, but you can use a couch cushion. You can use some pillows to support you. So if you are suffering from very acute low back pain, I would suggest ice. So leaving the ice pack, getting an ice pack, putting it on for 20 minutes and then taking it off so that that area can warm up again. A wonderful position that I like to call the recovery position. When we are in a lot of pain and we want to get out of pain, we need to rest and we need to use ice for any inflammation that we're experiencing. So using a nice little gel pack, putting it on the low back, and just taking a little bit of time to come into a recovery position. So I have a chair here. So you put your legs up on the chair, you settle back, and if you want to have the blanket, to place the blanket underneath your head, just to support your head, but sliding, scooching your bottom so that your knees are directly over the hips and the legs are supported by the chair. And there's just a nice support for the low back. And you're just going to settle back. You're resting and you're relaxing on the ice pack. And in this position, our back is supported, our spine is in that neutral position, and this should help to give you some relief. So while we're here in this position, I want us to take a moment and practice some breathing. So let's just place a hand on your heart space, a hand on your belly, and gently close your eyes. Because when we are in pain, what we tend to do is hold our breath. And so to help that pain, we're going to deepen our breath to help to relax the structures and just taking our body out of that gripping, that tight, tense sensation. And when we are in pain, our muscles are guarding. Our nervous system is guarding and protecting us. So you're going to just settle back, place a hand on the heart, the belly, or you might feel more comfortable, both hands on the belly. And for the next few moments, you're just following your breath. Breathing in through your nose. Feel your belly rise. And then breathing out through the nose. Feel your belly. Just gently relax, all away from your hands. And maybe as you breathe, you feel your shoulders relax. Staying here with that easy breath. And then draw those knees in towards the chest. And I'm going to suggest you just gently slide that chair away. You're hugging your knees into your chest and create just this nice, easy rocking and rolling the knees. And then you're gonna land your feet. I do have a blanket under my head, so you can keep that blanket there or you can slide it out. We're gonna start by just walking those feet back towards your bottom, feet on the mat. And we're going to bring our awareness into the pelvis, the low back. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna inhale and gently press our tailbone into the floor. Then we're gonna exhale and gently press that low back into the mat. So inhale, we press the tailbone. Exhale, we press the low back. Inhale, press the tailbone. Exhale and press that low back spine to the mat. Inhale, press the tailbone. Exhale, press that low back. Just gently moving. And then releasing that by drawing your knees in towards your chest. Again, that rocking sensation. We're gonna land our feet, and I want you to land your feet so that your feet are just about a little wider than hip width. So even onto just the width of the mat. And we're going to extend our arms out into that T and we're going to come into a windshield wiper movement. So what we're doing is we're just rocking those knees from side to side. When we rock our bodies, there's a reflex relaxation of the muscles. So just rocking. Maybe you want to move a little slower. Maybe you want to move quicker. And then just rock from side to side. Again, I want you to extend those arms long in that T position. And then you're going to let your knees fall over to the left. And you're going to take your gaze over that right shoulder. And for each of our poses, we're going to stay for about 4, 5 breaths. So come back to that beginning breath pattern. And then draw your knees up to center. And let's actually, just before we go to that other side, a nice movement that I like to do is reach your fingers directly over the shoulders, grasp those elbows, and do that same little windshield wiper, but now we're drawing our upper body into that. And again, it's that rock. So your knees fall to one side, elbows to the other, and just moving gently from side to side. And then one more, come to settle, come to center, take your arms out into that big T. Now we're gonna let our knees fall over to the right side. And we're gonna look over this left shoulder. And let's just gently close the eyes. When we close our eyes, we're just bringing our awareness inward. So gently closing your eyes, come back to your breath. And then back to center. Again, that hug. And so you have the option to rock and to roll forward, or maybe you don't want to just roll to your side and then coming up into your tabletop position. So set up in tabletop, hands beneath the shoulders, hips stacked over the knees. And we want to, for right now, I want you to find that neutral spine, meaning you're drawing the front of the pelvis towards the ribs. You're reaching the top of the head towards the top of the mat. And there's just a gentle activation of the core muscles. So this is our tabletop. Now we're going to move through cat and cow. So when we come into our cow, we want to lift that tailbone towards the ceiling. We're going to look forward and we let those shoulder blades glide towards one another on our back. And then we're going to exhale and we draw the belly button in towards the spine, tucking your chin, tuck that tailbone. Inhale, flow into your cow pose. Exhaling. So let's actually curl those toes under. If your knees bother you, you always have that option to place the blanket underneath the knees. So this is just a nice, easy movement, extending that engagement at the top. We draw the belly button to the spine. Inhale, feel your shoulder blades and lift those hip bones. Exhale, draw up. Inhale, come into that cow pose. So let's come back to that neutral spine, meaning that we're not letting the tailbone tip up. Just want to keep it nice and neutral. So we're going to settle back into our child's pose. So I'm going to give you a few variations. If you have knee issues, then you're going to place this blanket just between the upper and lower part of the leg. We're going to settle back into our child's pose. So we want to just drop those hips down towards the heels. The center of our forehead lands on the mat. And you come back to the breath. A second option is more of a restorative child's pose. So when you would place that bolster just between your knees, still create that length through your spine, settling your hips back, and then just landing on your bolster. So again, personal preference. You can either be in that supported, restorative child's pose, or without any props. And I always want you to think about props just as a tool to make the pose more accessible to you. So we're settling back into our child's pose. So again, breathing. And let's take 5 nice, steady, deep breaths. And what you may notice is that with each breath, maybe you can get those hips just a little closer to the heels. And then we're going to just look forward and we're going to walk our hands as far as we can over towards the right so that we feel that stretch in the left side of our body. So maybe your forehead lands, maybe it doesn't. Now we're lifting and we're walking our hands just as far as we can go over to that left side, feeling the stretch in the right side body. Breathing 4 nice breaths. And then coming to center, we're gonna lift up and then we're gonna settle onto our belly. So settling onto our belly so that we can come into a Sphinx pose. So in your Sphinx pose, I want you to reach through those legs, pressing the pinky toe sides of your feet into the mat. And we're lifting up into Sphinx. So maybe slide those forearms back. Find a focal point in front of you, not necessarily right down at the mat in front between the hands, but just out in front a little bit. Your chin is tucked, so we don't want to be reaching so that we're compressing our spine. We want to reach through the top of the head. Press into your forearms and think about decompressing that spine. So we don't want to feel any compressive, any pinching. So if that means that you need to sort of lower down, then lower down. If you have the range, then you lift that chest a little further away. And then slowly just releasing down. Let's stack our hands, rest the forehead on your hands, and take a moment or two in crocodile. So in this crocodile position, we're taking that nice deep breath into the belly, feeling your belly press into the floor. And just before you lift up, if you would like to do one more Sphinx, and you can press back into your tabletop. And so I hope that was helpful. And From here, we'll continue in another session sequence just to create and give you more poses, but something that's easy and that you do every day. So to see any benefits, to see and feel less pain in your back, we need to be consistent with our exercises. And sometimes when we're in a lot of pain, we're very good about doing our yoga, doing our stretches, and then when that pain goes away, we stop the exercises. So maybe pick two of those exercises that feel good, that you do continually, daily, to keep your back feeling healthy and strong. Thank you, and I hope that was helpful.